Damn, clap up, man. Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge that started out at 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York, where we are led by the amazing Commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? And what we teach, what we're here to teach in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, that Black, Hispanic, and Native American people, you are the Lord's chosen people. You understand? You descend from our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You understand? So, and that we have laws, statutes, and commandments that make us the salt of the earth and the most hated people of this earth. For that aspect, you understand what I'm saying? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start out the class and see if anybody has any questions, comments. You understand? We got the Officer Ram of 50 back there. You understand? We got the Aquathim here. You understand? And we're going to do this class right, man. You understand? Any questions? Not yet? No sweat. All right. So first scripture, we're going to go because a lot of our people don't understand what type of God they serve, man. You understand? So it's our job as the real priests and prophets of the Lord here in the I.S.U.P.K to bring that out. You understand? Because as it has been in every other captivity that our people have been throughout the history of the earth, is that we lost the knowledge of who we were. You understand? And we started trying to go after the way of the heathens. So here in this captivity, we have totally forgotten who our God is, who our forefathers are. You understand? So as priests and prophets who were given that understanding from the Lord, you understand, and follow this one body, this one spirit that's here in the I.S.U.P.K, and take back upon the spirit of the Lord, we're ordained to teach it to our people. We're ordained to teach a man how to be a goddamn man. We're ordained to show a sister to how she's supposed to, if she's unmarried, support the men of the Lord. And if she's married, show her how to serve her husband, man. You understand? Hey, give me the book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 3. Because the first thing your Christian pastor would tell you is that God loves everybody. And God is love. And God is this. And God is that. But what we like to do here is we like to show you in the scriptures and use the word of the Lord. Allow the Lord to speak. Because that's what a prophet is only supposed to do. A prophet is only supposed to tell the people of Israel what the God of the Bible is saying. You understand? Not to try to teach you something different. You understand? That's not what's going to save you. Read that out.
Con one con. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 3, Salakia, chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
The Lord is a what?
A man of war.
Okay, so when you see Lord here in the scriptures, you see that translate into the Hebrew as Yahweh. Yahweh means most high power, meaning there's no power above the Lord. You understand? It's like the eagle. The eagle can be prideful, and this is why our oppressor likes to use him. You understand? It's because there's no bird that flies above the eagle. The eagle doesn't have to look around and look up to see anything that will attack him. You understand? So the most high power, our power, said that he's a man of what?
A man of war.
He's a man of war. You understand? And keep going.
Con one con. The Lord is his name.
And the Lord is his name. You understand? He is a man of war, and the Lord is his name. So that makes it very clear that the God of the Bible, there is, when you go in the book of Ecclesiastes, it talks about that there's a time for war. There's a time for peace. There's a time for that. You understand what I'm saying? But, but here in the I.S.U.P.K, it's all warfare now because the children of Israel are the ones under attack here in this place. You understand? So drop that out. Go to Deuteronomy. You know the book of Deuteronomy, go to chapter 7. I'm going to bring that out real quick. Chapter 7, verse 6. Start at verse 6.
Con one con. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
So the first 5 books of the Bible are called the Torah, right? Genesis, Exodus, right? Those books, those first 5 books are called the Torah. The word Torah in the Hebrew means instructions, right? So this book here, the book of Genesis, tells us of how the Most High formed the earth, how he placed everything in its order, and how everything operates properly. Then he goes on and tells us about, how all the heathens erected from the earth, right? Then it tells us about how he hated that and he had to flood the earth because the sons of God, right, who were only descendants of Adam, had then started having sex with the daughters of man and started marrying. So interracial marriage is what got the earth flooded. So that's why it's a disgusting thing to see a black man sleep with a white woman or have a white woman on his arm. That's why it's a disgusting thing to see our sisters dating oppressors, descendants of oppressors, right? Because they tried to seek peace, and the God of the Bible told us already that not to seek peace with our oppressor, not to seek peace with our enemies. You understand? So the Bible in its entirety is only a history book for our people. It only tells us of how the Most High formed everything, how and why he destroyed everything, who he chose, and it gives us a clear sign, like scriptures say, this will be a sign for us. These curses that we go through. You understand? You ever heard about those scriptures in the curses? Book of Deuteronomy, 28th chapter, verses 15 through 68, tells us the curses for disobeying the law. Keep going. We'll go back to that, sis. Go ahead, Ak.
Again, we're in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So this is a very possessive word, thy. You understand? The Lord thy God, the Lord your God. You understand? So the God of the Bible gave these instructions to Moses. And he told Moses, that one prophet that he spoke to, right? Here goes another thing, Christian church, a misconception. Every preacher in them churches, in them 30 churches on one block in the hood say they heard a word from the Lord, brother. You understand what I'm saying? In the scriptures, but the scriptures tell us different. The God of the Bible only spoke to one man, and then that one man was told to tell the nation of Israel what to say to his people. You understand? So the God of the Bible is telling us, our ancestors, that they are a holy people, right? He's telling them that they are holy people unto the Lord thy God. So the God of the Bible is saying, I'm only your most high power, right? That's what he's saying. Keep going.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
Good night. Has chosen us, right? I mean, to choose something. That's saying, you know what? There was 17 other nations on the earth. The God of the Bible could have chose one of them. And they would have went along right on with it and said, you know what? We're going to keep these commandments because the Lord said he is with us. But now the Lord chose the most stiff-necked, most hard-headed group of people, bro. You understand? When we go out in the streets and we teach our people and we tell them, look, you're God's chosen people. And we show them Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter and the 6th verse. And we tell them, you're God's chosen people. The Lord chose you. You understand? Officer Yatazak likes to use this analogy. He says, so it's like you have a basketball team, right? And you choose 5 people. And then you go out and you play other people, other teams, right? Are you going to care if that other team has uniforms? Are you going to care if that other team has proper sneakers to wear? You're not. You're not going to care if that other team has water or Gatorade, brother. You understand? You're not going to care because all you want to do is win. That's the same thing with the nation of Israel. The God of the Bible only chose us. Keep going.
Con one con. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
A special people only unto the God of the Bible. You see what I'm saying? He only chose us to be his special people because he chose us. You understand? So with that, I mean that sets a whole nother precedent. That shows that the God of the Bible is a racist. You understand? That shows that the God of the Bible is about integration, Salakia, segregation, because he only chose us to be unto him. You see what I'm saying? He only gave these commandments, these instructions unto his special people. His special people is the nation of Israel, who are today the so-called blacks, the so-called Hispanics, and the so-called Native Americans. See what I'm saying? Got any questions? No sweat. Keep going on.
Con. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Good night. So with him choosing us, he set us above all people on the face of the earth. Those 17 other nations, that's the so-called white man, our oppressor, right now to this day, who is from the nation of Edom, right? Then that's the so-called Arabs, who are descendants of Ishmael. Matter of fact, let's pull that out. Go to Psalms 83. We're gonna show you. We'll show you today. Let's go to Psalms 83. Start at verse 2.
Con. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
You know what a tumult is? A pit. You understand what I'm saying? A pit to destroy you. Keep going, huh?
Con. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
That's every other nation of people. Every other nation of people look down on Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. Right? They look down on us. And what's so cold about it is that we look up at them and try to love them. Right? We'll go to their gas stations. We'll go to their convenience stores. We'll go to their nail shops. We'll go to their this. We'll go to their beauty shop supplies. We'll go to them for everything. Right? That's also a curse. You understand? We'll go to them for everything, just to show that we love everybody and God loves everybody, and you know what I'm saying? And we have no problems with them. Right? And the whole time, they don't give a good goddamn about us. You understand what I'm saying? Right? So here's the thing. How many brothers do you know, have you known or seen in the news that have been shot down in a convenience store, that have been roughed up by police officers? Right? You don't see any other nation of people in that Black Lives Matter movement. You understand what I'm saying? You don't see any other nation of people protesting for the Hispanics that are at the border in Mexico. You understand? You don't see that. You know why? Because they keep going. Read started and they.
Con. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Because they hate us. They hate because they know that we're God's chosen people. They know that. And this is what they did. Keep going on.
Con. Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
You know what crafty counsel is? Crafty counsel is setting up abortion clinics in your neighborhood. And our women kill our babies at $500,000 a year. Crafty counsel is destroying a neighborhood so bad that the only businesses that they have that's run by their people is a Christian church and a barbershop and a dope man. You see what I'm saying? That's crafty counsel. Crafty counsel is setting up a whole immigration process in a land that was stolen from the people that it originally belongs to, and saying that they're breaking the law with them trying to come back to the land because the so-called white man destroyed the land that they were in. You understand? The white man destroyed Mexico. He made it to where the only business there is being in the cartel and working in a cocoa field. You understand? Or working in a marijuana field. The CIA set up all that to destroy us as a people. And so they leave there to try to come back to the land of their forefathers, because Texas and Mexico, Texas was Mexico. Texas, from Tejas all the way southwest, all the way to California, that was Mexican territory. That belonged to the tribe of Issachar. Now they're saying that they're illegals. You understand? That's crafty counsel. Keep going.
Kind of the one kind. And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against the hidden ones of the Lord. We just read in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, right? That we are a people unto him. So when we keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, we abide and take our refuge in the Lord. You understand? Like Job, when Satan, the angel Satan, went to the Lord, or was in the heavens with the sons of God, the scriptures say, right? The Lord asked him, have you looked upon my servant Job? Satan was like, yeah, I seen him, but I can't touch him because you got a hedge around him. You know what that hedge is today? The hedge today is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. You understand? That is the hedge for Israelites. So if those brothers and sisters that are down there in Mexico suffering, instead of trying to run for the border, they need to try to get a hold of Commander Jenny YAHANNA's ambassador, Issacharite ambassador, officer of 5,000 Kazakiah down there in California, and figure out how they need to get into the school. And then the Lord will take them back unto him, and they will be in the refuge of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? And we don't have to worry about the stock market crashing. We won't have to worry about will Walmart have food. You understand? We won't have to worry about rolling blackouts. You understand? We won't have to worry about the God of the Bible using his destruction to judge the earth. Right? Like a small fact, like you remember them fires in California? Right? What do you know the areas that got burned up in California? It was a place called Paradise, California. Imagine who dwelled there. The so-called white man dwelled there, and all the movie stars of Hollywood. You understand? Was Compton burned? Right. Southern Cal wasn't burned up, brother. You know what I'm saying? The Bay Area was not burned up. You understand? That was the God of the Bible judging the so-called white man in that hour. You understand? So in the I.S.U.P.K, we hate to see other people dying. You understand? But until other people can care about them killing our people, we can't care about that. You understand? My concern is my people understanding that crafty counsel has been taken up against them. So we can go back to keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. So we can be back a hidden one of the Lord. You understand? Keep going now.
Kind of one kind. This is Psalms chapter 83, verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
They said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. You understand? They have taken the crafty counsel enough to say, let us cut them off. So these are all the other nations of the earth saying, let us cut them off from being a nation. We need to come together, conspire. Let's set up a whole united nation so we can figure out how we're going to cut these people off from being a nation of people. Let's keep them from rulership so we can rule here in this earth. Right? Because heaven and hell are not places that your spirit goes for eternity. Heaven and hell is under the goddamn sun. Right. You see what I'm saying? Because my people are in hell, goddamn it. Keep going on.
The name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Who are the real Israelites? They blacks, Hispanics, right? Native Americans, right? But we forgot that. That's why we call ourselves black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. That's why we call ourselves niggers, which only means black. It's a beautiful word. We say it all the time here in the I.S.U.P.K, brother. You understand? Spics, wetbacks, beaners, redskins, savages. You understand? That's what we're called. You know what we were called in past times? In Egypt, we were called hexos, right? We were called every byword and proverb. We were called everything but the children of the Lord, brother. That's what we were called. We were called everything but the children of the Lord. You understand? Keep going, out.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
They had came together. Hey, we got to come together because we can't have these niggas rule over us like we had to deal with during the dark ages. We can't have that because when these people rule over us, good night, they love to shine. You understand? And then when they rule over us, they tell us we can't eat pork. They tell us we can't circumcise our daughters. They tell us he can't wear plates in our lips. We tell the Moabites no more eating dogs, no more homosexuality. You understand? No more sleeping with one who you want to sleep with. That's why they can't. That's why they don't want that's why they don't want niggas to be in rulership, because they know that they cannot do what they want to do. Because you know what happened in the land of Moab, was so-called the Chinese. You know what happened? Some brothers, priests and prophets with beards and braids, will go up to the door of their kingdom. Man, I heard y'all in here still out here trying to celebrate the year of the monkey, man. We're not doing that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kick down the door and we're gonna kill y'all. That'll be the kingdom of heaven. Heard y'all trying to get out here and eat these frog legs, eat eels and the animals that need to be in the water, cleaning the water and you understand and right, and keeping the ecosystem in balance, right? Not eating shrimp, crawfish, and lobster, which clean the seas, right? That's the problem. Houston, they love seafood, so they go down to that Gulf and go get all them crabs and lobster, right? That's why the Gulf of Mexico looks horrible, because they're taking out of the water what needs to be there to make it clean, brother. You understand? That's why the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because he's taken what's good in the earth, what the God of the Bible called to be good. He took it and he's turning it bad. And then he's taking the good that he wants to see, and he's taking the bad that he does according to the God of the Bible, and he's making it to look good. You see what I'm saying? This is hell for our people. Keep going on.
They are confederate against thee. Verse 6.
You know what the word confederate means? It's like a pact. You understand? It's like a coming together, right? It's like the Confederate, right? The military of the South during the Civil War. They were the Confederate soldiers, meaning they were the gathering of all the southern states that wanted to keep niggas in chains and shackles. Keep picking cotton for free, right? That's what Confederate means. Keep going.
The tabernacles of Edom.
You know what a tabernacle is? A dwelling place. a home, a tent, right? So the house of Edom. Edom became a nation because of Esau, right? So that's every so-called white man here in the earth, right? That's the so-called Americans, so-called Russians, the Germans, the Jewish people, right? The Australians, the so-called North Africans, the Tanzanian white people, right? All of them, all they have done throughout the earth, their time in the earth, when they left the caves of Mount Sur, was rape, rob, and murder. You see what I'm saying? And change the name of everything. Why do you think we call it Africa? Why do you think we call it Australia? That's not what the Lord called it. You see what I'm saying? But they did that because that was a part of them making crafty counsel, right? And if they would have kept calling the land of Africa the land of Canaan, then niggas would have known, you know what, we not Canaanites. You see what I'm saying? If they would have kept calling the Mexicans Mexicans, then they would have known, right? No, we would have been able to figure it out too easily, right? So they had to use the crafty counsel, make one consent, come together, make confederate with one another to devise a plan to cut us off from a nation and remembering that we're the children of Israel. So the tabernacles of Edom is all the so-called white man that's fighting for power today, right? So they so greedy. They could be the confederate they can even call themselves Edom. We are the Edomites. We're gonna rule the earth, right? Just do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they do, but instead they want to fight against each other. Makes no sense. Keep going.
And the Ishmaelites.
Ishmael, son of Abraham, oldest son of Abraham, given unto him by a Egyptian servant woman, Egyptian slave, not who the God of the Bible promised that he would keep Abraham's seed going through. You understand? Ishmael is not the son of promise. Ishmael, his whole religion that his descendants created, Islam, right? That all that comes from our customs, from the customs of the descendants of Isaac and of Jacob. Okay? Don't let no Negro tell you need to be a damn Muslim. That is nothing. Captain Katazar called it sand nigga Christianity, right? It's Christianity because they believe anybody can come and be a Muslim, right? But that's not what this scripture is about. This Bible's not about that. This Bible is only written to niggas. You see what I'm saying? Only written for us, for our benefit, for us to choose the Lord, right? And to keep his ways so that we can rule the earth. Keep going on.
Of Moab.
The Moabites are the so-called Chinese. Keep going.
And the Hagarenes.
The Hagarenes are descendants of the Elamites, the East Indians, right? Guess who built the Taj Mahal? We built the goddamn Taj Mahal. You understand? We were in captivity unto the Elamites, and we built the Taj Mahal. So they gotta pay too. Keep going on.
Gebal. And Ammon.
Ammon are the descendants. There are sons of Lot, right? So the Amorites today are the so-called Japanese. Stop. Are the so-called Japanese. Keep going.
And Amalek.
And Amalek is a descendant of Esau as well. But those descendants of Amalek are in our land today, calling themselves the Jews. Keep going.
The Philistines. with the inhabitants of Tyre.
The Philistines are stank nasty Africans. Okay? And the inhabitants of Tyre, they're the reason why we were gathered, the so-called dark nation of Israel, who are the Judites, the tribe of Judah, or the nation of Judah, right? Which is the southern kingdom, right? Who consists of the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Benjamin, and the Levites, the majority of the Levites, because Judah, we were the largest tribe. So we needed the most priests, right? So we dispersed out of Jerusalem, 70 AD, most of us, right? Not an absolute, not all of us, but the large portion of us dispersed out of Jerusalem, ones that were not killed, right? We left out of Jerusalem, just went to a land where we could hide amongst the people that we could hide. Who could we hide up amongst another nation of people? Another dark race of people, right? So we hid amongst the Africans, right? So the inhabitants of Tyre, when Shaka Zulu and them met up with the so-called white man, he hit the coast of West Africa and said, "Hey, where are those Negroes? Where are those Negroes at? Where's the tribe of Judah, the nation of Judah? We already got the 10 northern kingdom in captivity because they already came over to the Americas, the Spaniards, right? The Spaniards who are so-called white men too. They brought their Spanish and Catholicism, right? And tortured the so-called Hispanics and the descendants of Gad and Reuben, tortured them, gave most of them Hispanic Spanish, right? And then gave them Christianity. So now they love white Jesus over here too. And they love Mary, brother. Good night. You speak against Mary, brother. You speak against the Virgin Mary. You tell her only reason why she was called a virgin is because she was a marriable age. And the God of the Bible only chose Mary because she was Joseph's wife, right? That's what in our culture in Hebrew what virgin means, right? Woman of marriageable age, meaning she ain't got no damn husband. That's it. You see what I'm saying? So they got it on, brother. And the first time they got it on, you see what I'm saying? They had a baby, brother, which is kind of hard, right? That don't happen all the time. Usually it take a couple times for the magic to happen, brother. Salaki, don't mean to say magic. But you know what I'm saying? Cliche, for lack of a better term, you know what I'm saying? It take a couple of shots to get past the keeper, brother. But not in this case, brother. The Spirit of the Lord was with Mary and Joseph. You understand? Keep going out.
Khan. Assur is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot.
Right. So the children of Lot are the Moabites and the Amorites. You understand? So all these nations join together to put a full-out attack on Black, Hispanic, and Native American peoples. You understand? So let's go to some of these curses. Go back to the book of Deuteronomy, 28th chapter. Go to verse 1. Bring it out.
Khan. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments, which I commanded thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee upon high above all nations of the earth.
All right, so let's go back. So he said, and it shall come to pass, right? So this is a future prophecy. You understand? And it shall come to pass if y'all shall hearken diligently. The word hearken means listen. Diligently means well, right? Unto the voice of the Lord thy God. This is Moses talking to our people because the voice of the Lord was thunder, lightning, fire, tornadoes, everything that we look upon the earth as destruction, right? The Lord stopped the nation of Israel in the wilderness, and all they heard was thrum, thrum, blah, 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 and seen fire, and them niggas was like, Moses, you need to go talk to him, player. You understand? So Moses is telling us what the Lord told him, saying that we need to just listen well to these words and observe them and do them. Do all these commandments, not just some, right? Not celebrate a little Christmas or just not stop celebrating Easter and still celebrate your birthday. That's not in our customs to do. Christ didn't celebrate a birthday. No man of the Lord celebrated a goddamn birthday. The only people that celebrated birthday in our scriptures was Pharaoh during the time of Joseph and Herod during the time of Christ. And you know what happened in them birthday celebrations? Somebody got their head cut off. John the Baptist was beheaded by Herod, right? And go ahead. Click on the mic. Lift it up. There you go.
So we don't celebrate holidays?
We do not celebrate pagan holidays. So in Christianity, whatever you learn in Christianity, we don't do it. So Easter, right? All these come from Constantine. Constantine was a black man, right, who ruled over Rome that had us, you know what I'm saying, us in captivity, right? But, you know, we conquered and we took over Rome in 665 AD. We got back control over Jerusalem and Rome and started ruling all the way through the Dark Ages, all the way up until so-called white man came back in power during the Renaissance period, right? So Constantine, what he did was he took all pagan customs, because the book of Jeremiah chapter 10 talks about that Christmas tree, talks about that evergreen tree, talks about decorating it, and that's before Christ. It's in the book of Jeremiah. Good night. Why are we? He's not talking about worshiping a baby and giving baby gifts. You see what I'm saying? So Christmas is pagan. It comes from Nimrod worship. Easter is pagan, right? Everything in the Christian church. New Year's, we don't celebrate none of that stuff. You know why? Because we celebrate the Passover. And that's our God destroying the Egyptians and giving us our freedom. That's what we celebrate. We celebrate the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You understand? We celebrate the Day of Atonement, where we fast from sun up to sundown. We fast for the nation of Israel to rise again. Go ahead.
So don't the Jews do Passover?
The Jews, right? Guess who are the Jews? Us. Damn right. So every Passover, which is normally around the end of March, early April, we go to New York and we do it big. You understand what I'm saying? And it is the greatest showing of you. When you go up in that Passover, you will never have to think about or imagine if heaven got a goddamn ghetto. Because I tell you what, it's brothers and it's brotherhood and sisterhood in there. Black, Hispanic, and Native American people getting down in there. You understand? Big drinking. We eat of that lamb. You know what I'm saying? We eat of the bitter herbs and spices, and we drink that wine, and we eat of that unleavened bread, and we just exchange phone numbers, take pictures. Like, it's so glorious. My children, right? I have 5 children there that last Passover. I couldn't find them the whole time. I didn't know where they were. But guess what? I didn't have to worry about them, none of them getting molested. I ain't had to worry about none of them getting snatched up. You understand? They was around their brothers and their sisters. So if you want to know what the kingdom of heaven looks like, you need to come to the Passover thrown by Commander YAHANNA. You understand? And we will make sure you get there. We'll make sure we'll give you counsel on how to prepare for that trip. But you got to go. You got to do it because it's a commandment to do it, right? Our feast days are commandments for us to do and keep. And all that does is let us know that the God of the Bible is with us, right? You got anything else? Is that your mic? There you go. You good? No sweat. Raise your hand. If you got a question, see, we're gonna break it down. Right? So yeah, so no birthdays, no pagan holidays, you know what I'm saying? And you could, and sometimes it would seem as a hard thing to do because your children are used to it, they've been doing it, and you understand what I'm saying? But when you show your children, when you bring them, that's why it's so important that we congregate with one another. You come to Sabbath service and we dwell with one another. You come to these feast days and you sit amongst your sisters and your brothers and you get to see that, hey, this is our way of life, right? Celebrating birthdays and all this pagan stuff, that's what kills us. You understand? So you explain to your children that these are not your customs, baby. Don't be upset. You understand what I'm saying? Because we have something greater on the horizon. We have a kingdom. We have a kingdom that's within us that's waiting to be erected. You understand? So if you want to be in a place to where we can have a backyard so big you can't even run to the end of it. Right? Go ahead, Doc.
Salakia, sir. So is it okay to give our kids gifts on any other days besides those pagan holidays?
I mean, you got all them other days of the year, right? You can give a gift to your child. You understand what I'm saying? And I mean, you don't want to give gifts to your child all like that anyway. You got to make them earn that. The God of the Bible making you earn this truth, right? Bring me straight A's if you want something out of me, man. Because all the God of the Bible told us he gonna do for us is just feed us, clothe us, and give us shelter, brother. You see what I'm saying? What is a gift? Especially while we're in this captivity. You see what I'm saying? Especially while our brothers and sisters are dying out here. You see what I'm saying? That's what makes Jay-Z. That's what makes Michael Jordan. That's what makes Shaquille O'Neal. That's what makes Venus and Serena Williams. That's what makes Oprah Winfrey and all these big head Negroes so wicked. Because how could you prop yourself up in a high place and watch your people just be destroyed? You see what I'm saying? You know what they will be in the kingdom of heaven when our king returns? If they're not beheaded, they will be the janitors. They will be picking up garbage on the street, right? They will be wanting to die. And I pray they will be constantly reminded of the wickedness that they did, of what they committed while Black, Hispanic, and Native American people were dying in this oppression, in this worst hell that we've ever seen in the history of the earth, in the history of the nation of Israel being a goddamn nation. You see what I'm saying? Because Oprah Winfrey, good night. Oprah Winfrey, she lives in Chirac, right? She sees the poverty she sees on the news. She used to report it of how many black men would shoot themselves, would kill one another in just a goddamn weekend from the drugs and from the weapons that were placed in our neighborhoods. You see what I'm saying? And what does she decide to do with her money? Her billions of dollars that she makes. She go to goddamn Africa and build a damn school for these ugly Hamite girls, bro. I mean, good night. You understand? Instead of giving, And here's the thing, Oprah is worth billions of dollars. Just think if she paid her tithes, her 10% to the Commander General YAHANNA. Just think if she did that. If she paid a tenth of the billions that she makes or the millions that she makes in a month or a goddamn day, right? Commander General YAHANNA would make sure there is a Israelite school of universal and practical knowledge in every hood. He would make sure that there is a refuge for Hispanic people at the border, right? He would make sure he would make it to where we could go into South and Central America and teach this truth to our people. And he would make sure that there's not a hungry so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American person in the earth. I believe that. You see what I'm saying? That's why I whenever I'm called or ordered to do something, that's why I get up and do it. You see what I'm saying? Because I want to see niggas back in rulership. I want to see that Black woman adorn herself and love her Black man once again. I give my life for that. That is the oath that the men of the Lord take. That is the oath that every man that say this is the Israelite school of universal and practical knowledge, that's the oath that we take. And then if you're chosen to wear a cover like that cover, you understand what I'm saying? You definitely have to do it. There is no turning back from that. You understand what I'm saying? The God of the Bible is looking down. And if you drop your sword then with that cover on your back, Lord be with you. You see what I'm saying? It is not going to be a pretty thing at all. You see what I'm saying? So all we need to do is hearken diligently and listen well to these commandments that the God of the Bible said to do. He will place us above all nations on the face of the earth. He would give us rulership. What do you think Adam had in the garden? You know what Adam had in the garden? Adam had dominion in the garden. While all the other people, right? Because Christianity would tell you it was only Adam and Eve in the garden, right? No. Let's take a look at that. Go to the book of Genesis on it. And and it don't even make no damn sense. We're gonna bring it out, sis. Don't even worry about it. Go to 26, chapter 1 and 26. We're going to show you in the scriptures where the God of the Bible created all mankind. Read.
God of Wakan. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make man.
Let us make who?
Man.
Who?
Man.
Say it one more time.
God of Wakan. And God said, let us make man in our image.
Good night. Keep going.
God of Wakan. After our likeness.
Meaning in the image to be able to take orders and do them. Right? Because that's what we have over animals. Animals operate strictly off instinct. The instinct that the God of the Bible gave the bear is what that bear has been doing since Genesis chapter 21. And the bear does that and it pleases the Lord because the God of the Bible told the bear to do it. Every year around this time, bear, you hibernate. You get up, you try to eat everything you can. You try to procreate, you fight to try to procreate, and then you go back to sleep again. That pleases the Lord because it's what the God of the Bible instructed to do. Right? So then he said, let us create man in our image and our likeness. Right? So that's the Lord told the angels. That's the power. right? Because the word God, when you just see God, G-O-D in the Bible, in the Hebrew, it's Elohim, right? Elohim. That means power, rulers, judges, right? So when they say Christ is God, no, he's not. Christ is a power that sits under Yahweh, the most high power. Christ said it over and over again. He told that young man, there's no one good but God. Meaning, how can Christ be God if he's the one that's good? If the God of the Bible is good, right? When Christ was baptized, the Spirit of the Lord came from the heavens and said, "This is my son, hear ye him." Was Christ throwing his voice up in the air? No, he was not. That was the Lord, Yahweh, speaking about his son, Yahweh Shai. Right? Keep going.
God of one kind. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea.
Don't all man have dominion over the fish of the sea? Right? Man has dominion over the fish of the sea, right? Keep going.
God of one kind. And the fowl of the air.
And the fowl of the air, that is the bugs. Bugs are fowl of the air because they fly, right? Right? Birds fly, right? Christian pastor tell you, oh, it's talking about the birds. No, brother. It's talking about all the fowl of the air. There's not one animal that just stays in the air and flies, right? Everything comes down. Keep going.
And over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
So we have powers over the cattle, which is the horses, the cow, the cattle, the buffalo, the ox, right? We have the power to domesticate all those animals. Keep going.
God of one kind. So God created man in his own image.
So what we say here in the I.S.U.P.K is the power created man in his own image. So the God of the Bible, Yahweh, the Lord, has never been to earth, right? All he says is, I want this done, right? Then Christ said, hey, y'all angels, let's get this done. Then what happens? It gets done, right? So that's why we do it in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, where the priest and prophet of the Lord that the God of the Bible gives the order to tell the nation of Israel is the commanding general, YAHANNA. And then he gives that order to General Muhammad. He gives that order to General Mayat. And then that order goes all the way downhill to our captains of 13,000, the captains of 10,000. And then it gets down to the camp leaders. And then it gets down to the men of the camp. And we do that. You see what I'm saying? Because we know that order has come from the Lord. We don't move unless it's ordained, meaning we get an order, then we do it. We get an idea, we talk to the man above us, he talks to the man above him, he calls the general, he gets the general commander in YAHANNA, then it comes back down, Khan, do it, Khan, do it, Khan, do it, Khan, do it. Khan means yes. You see what I'm saying? And that's how we operate. That's why since 1969, no scandals, right? Nobody has come up missing. No, the FBI, the CIA, nothing has came and kicked down the doors of the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Because we follow the orders of the Lord and the men above us. And most important thing, we brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? We love one another in here, and we don't allow nothing to keep us from the love of our brothers, right? And when you allow that black man to love another black man, black woman, you see what I'm saying? Like a brother, not like a homosexual. You understand? Let's get that straight. You understand? Because we are straight men. We are the most heterosexual men in the earth. You understand what I'm saying? You would never have to worry about a priest and prophet of the Lord out here creeping with a man. You understand? You would never have to worry about a priest and prophet of the Lord buying a whore. Buying or taking upon women just to sleep with them and put them away. Sister, you know, that means you can have a man that has more than one wife, right? And you don't have to worry about him catching no disease. You understand? Because as long as that woman, the sister, don't go out and sleep with another man who's sleeping with God knows what, right? How can the disease come about? That's why if a woman sleeps with another man that has a husband, hearing this truth, and according to the scriptures, that woman got to be put away. I can't deal with you no more. You see what I'm saying? I cannot do it. You see what I'm saying? So the best thing to do is if you get a real nigga hearing this truth, you stick with that brother. You see what I'm saying? And if there's something going on, you can call that captain that's over your zone, and you can, you know what I'm saying? And if you need to go hide in that, you call one of these mighty generals. And you can get marriage counseling, and it will get resolved. You understand? And you will be back to tying fire and making love, and you'll be back to La La Land. You'll be back to having the kingdom of heaven in your household. You see what I'm saying? But if you depart, if you leave that man, that's on you. Now you can separate, but the only man you can reconcile with is that man that you laid with. Period, point blank. You understand? I mean, and why would you want to leave a real nigga anyway? That's what I want to figure out. That's the question of the day. Sister, why would you want to leave a real nigga anyway? You understand? Would you? Huh? How you know? Because he's in here and he's dedicated his life to keeping these commandments. You understand what I'm saying? You won't have to worry about that man going and sleeping with another man's wife. You understand? If that brother say, you know what, baby, I gotta go to the school and I gotta go teach, or we gotta go to school, we gotta paint, or we gotta go to school, we gotta do this. You understand what I'm saying? Or I got to get up because, you understand, my baby's at the other household, something wrong with him. You see what I'm saying? You can rest and assure that's where that brother will go. Now, if he say, hey, baby, I'll be back, right? That's a whole nother story. Now, all you do is, okay, baby, do you have what you need? No. Yeah, mama, I'll be back. All right? Don't blow that man phone up. You understand what I'm saying? Just let that brother, he will come home. Because if you're doing what you need to do as a wife, if you got your house in order, right? The order that you have is you whip them children you got of his or of yours that he decided to take on with you. You had them whipped in shape. You had that house clean, smelling good. You understand what I'm saying? You have a place to where you could take off that man's boots and put them up nice and neat. You understand? You have that house prepared, food cooked. And that nigga remember that, he's going to take a mental picture. And that nigga will be back. You understand what I'm saying? You don't provide that brother no flack. Hey, baby, how's your day? Everything all right? I love you, my Lord, Ottawa. I missed you so much. You understand what I'm saying? The scriptures say a silent woman is a gift from the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Be a silent woman. Be a gift from the Lord. Be that treasure. You understand? Find out what you can do for his brothers. Salaki, sir, I made some food. I know y'all got camp. Y'all be out there all day. Can I bring it out? Would that be okay, sir? I got some, you know what I'm saying? I got some turkey wraps. I got some beef slider burgers, barbecue with the caramelized onions. Can we bring it to camp with the chips? And I got the good Kool-Aid packs. You know, I froze all the Capri Suns. I know it's hot out there. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Niggas on the pulpit of wood behind them signs. Hold this more. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get the boo kisses. Boo kisses. You understand? Right. You come out there, you do that for that brother. Hey, mama, you gonna be at the house a little bit later? I need you to be at the house, girl. I'm coming over. You understand? That's what you do, man. That's how you keep a real nigga coming back. You understand? That's what you got to do, sis. You understand? Hey, and so then you have a man that is willing to love you as Christ loved the church. How did Christ love the church? He died for the church, brother. That's why we listen to YAHANNA through the commander Junior YAHANNA. You understand? Because we know that his orders come from Christ. And Christ died for me, man. And I owe Christ every goddamn thing. So if you got a brother that's willing to die for you, a real priest and prophet of the Lord with these beards and these braids, you understand what I'm saying? You're going to give it all you got to that brother. Because I tell you what, you're going to need that man to talk to that son of yours. Can you just talk to him? He don't want to listen to me. Oh, if he gets too big, I can't just put my hands on him. You know what I'm saying? Or them brothers that was down there down the street, they in the world, I don't know what's wrong with them. They done looked at me crazy. They done came and knocked at my door. You know what I'm saying? No sweat. You understand? And we'll go down there, we'll have a conversation. Hey, Shalom, brother, what's going down? Everything good with you? Yeah, that house right there, you see me coming in and out of? Brother, that belongs to the Lord, brother. You understand what I'm saying? Let's be at peace, brother. What's going down? You understand what I'm saying? I'm a priest and prophet of the Lord, brother. I'm out here for you. You understand? Let's not figure out how to harm our women, man. Let's protect our women again, brother. You know what I'm saying? A good brotherly conversation, and that'll squash that. And while you just be in the house, cooking away, cleaning away, you understand? You need anything else, sir? Nah, I'm good. Don't count, sir. You understand? Need the feet rubbed? No sweat. That'll keep a real nigga coming back. You know what I'm saying? Rub on me, girl. Rub on that man. You understand what I'm saying? When them lie, well, let's make this very plain, right? And I know a lot of people, they like to watch National Geographic, especially now. Niggas thinking they in the truth now, and they studying lions, right? They see how lions move, right? Right. So when the only time you see that male lion get up, right? When it's time to eat, right? He don't go hunting. He don't waste his time for that, right? He sent his women, his pride of women out there, them lionesses, to go get that food. And then when they get it, they hear him coming. Oh, they hear that, they move out the way, brother. Right? Everybody move out the way. But when another lion come up, that's when he know. All them hyenas, right? He get up and he go protect the pride. And that's his job. You see what I'm saying? So here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, it's a real nigga's job to protect his household, his property, right? He protects his property and he does the work of the Lord, first and foremost. That's his first wife. You see what I'm saying? That's his first wife. And he gonna protect it all, brother. I promise you. Because I seen them niggas with them covers, brother. Them my niggas, man. I know they will do it. You understand? They ain't call me. I come. I'm coming running, brother. I need to get this Yakarab off to see how I'm looking right now. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't got no problem with it. Keep reading now. We have verse 27.
God in one kind. Verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them.
Good night. That's it right there. Right? Then go to 28.
God in one kind. Verse 28. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply.
Now hold on. He said them, he blessed them, right? So the man and the woman, that is plural. You understand? Keep going.
God in one kind. And replenish the earth. And subdue it. And have dominion over the fish of the sea. And over the fowl of the air. And over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
Right. Good night. So from verses 26 all the way down to 31. That was the God of the Bible ordering the power, which are the angels, right? The messengers, to create mankind. Let's go to chapter 2. Drop down to chapter 2, start at 1.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them.
Right.
Verse 2, and on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made.
Right, so the Lord rested on his Sabbath day. The seventh day said 6 days ye shall work, and that seventh day shall be your day of rest. Right? Verse 4.
Verse 4. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth.
Good night. So this is day 7, right? This is day 7. And he said, these are the generations, right? What do you think the word generation could mean, sis? It could mean us, right? But in which way? Which way could it be generations? See what I'm saying? Meaning there was one, then he got a woman, and they made this you understand what I'm saying? It was more than just Adam and Eve. You see what I'm saying? Because not only did the plants have generations and come back, die, regenerate, right? Not only did the fowl of the air have a generation, die, regenerate. Not only did the cattle and the creatures in the seas and the oceans die and regenerate, so did mankind. Because he created everything on the 6th day and rested on the 7th day. You see that? Everything was created. He wrapped it up on the 7th day. Keep going.
Verse 5. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth.
Okay, go to 7.
This is Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
The Lord, okay. So now we're getting into something more metaphorical, right? Because the scriptures is written in metaphor, prophecy, allegory, and most important, slang. You know why the Bible was written in slang? Because it was written by niggas, right? And we are God's chosen people. So the God wrote and spoke in a poetic way. This is why niggas speak and write in a poetic way, right? How can Tupac write a song about a whole gun, a weapon, right? He was, the white man to tell you, oh man, Tupac wrote that song. It was about a woman. No, sir. He wrote that. Damn right. You know that, right? Niggas know that. But guess who don't know that? The people that ain't niggas. You understand what I'm saying? Because they are not the salt of the earth, bro. And the God of the Bible don't give a good goddamn about them. You understand? So the Lord saying that he formed Adam, he formed from dust, meaning dust is a low state, right? You go outside, you kick up dust, that's as low as you can get. You see what I'm saying? So what it's saying, metaphorically saying, I formed him from a low state. The low state of just being out here, just living and dying, being a generation, right? I'm formed Adam from just living and dying. That's the low state, living and dying. You know what I'm saying? Just having a seed and just produce, just surviving out here, right? Keep going.
And breathe into his nostrils the breath of life.
You know what the breath of life is? These laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what the breath of life. Because the God of the Bible told us further on in the Bible, right? This is how we're his children. If we keep these commandments, he will place us above all people on the face of the earth. Keep going. In his nostrils, into his nostrils.
And man became a living soul.
And man became a living soul. So Adam became a living soul unto the God of the Bible. On the seventh day, on the Lord's day of rest. You see what I'm saying? On his day of rest, he raised up Adam from the dust and made him a living soul. Gave Adam all his laws, statutes, and commandments. Showed Adam what to eat and what not to eat. Right? Show Adam, hey, now look at here. All these women out here, you leave them alone, player. Right? Because I'm setting you apart from everything else on this earth. Keep going.
God of the one kind, verse 8. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden. And there he put man who he had formed.
Salakia, you got to.
Salakia. And there he put the man whom he had formed.
He put that man there that he had chose on the seventh day. You understand what I'm saying? Keep going. And gave him his own part, right? Planted a garden eastward in Eden. Gave Adam a portion of the garden, his own portion, and planted him there. Keep going.
Kind of one kind. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden.
Right. So now we're starting to get into something heavier. You understand? So Adam was eating natural food. This is a metaphor once again. Right? So he separated Adam and started feeding Adam the truth. Started feeding Adam his precepts, his laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? This is what he wanted Adam to eat. This is what was pleasing in the sight of the Lord. This is why he formed him and set him eastward in the garden, away from all the other people that he created in his image. Right? So people come up and tell us, so God created everybody. The Lord loves everybody. No, he don't love everybody, brother. He formed somebody and lifted somebody from this whole dust, from the dust of this ideology of let's all get along. Can we all get along? Right? Who said that? A black man said it. Martin said it, right? Can we all just get along? Right? No, sir. Everybody else can get along and make Confederate against niggas, right? Keep going.
And the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
So these were not just literal trees. These were metaphorical trees, meaning knowledge, meaning what you take in, how you, what is that term for thought? What do they say? For food for thought. That's right, sis. Right? Not something that you're literally eating, right? Like what you're doing right now, you're being brainwashed. Your brain is being washed from all the Christianity that you've been taught by Paul. You understand what I'm saying? And if you keep coming, sis, you're going to receive the baptism of fire to where you have the love only for your people, just like the God of the Bible only has love for his people that he chose. You see what I'm saying? You're going to be able to go into work, and that black woman that used to roll her eyes at you and look at you crazy, and you be like, I don't know what's wrong with that bitch, she look at me crazy, I ain't do nothing to her. You're going to look upon that sister, and you're going to have compassion for her. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to still be kind to that sister. Not nice, but kind, right? Still treating her like a sister, but just knowing, okay, sis, you understand? I love you, but good night. You are wicked. You understand? Not treating her, you know what I'm saying? And the scripture tells us we're not supposed to abhor anybody, meaning treat hatefully. But you have to have a special kind of love for that black woman that look like you. Because black women hate black women. Good night, brother. Sisters hate sisters, right? I mean, a black woman you just give a black woman one reason and she is at your throat. I mean, you can't even look at a black woman man nowadays, right? Good night. That's why they share women. They share brothers here, bro. You got to share your man here in this truth. That's in the Bible. Share the righteous man. That sister, I love you so much, sister. I know you need a good man. I know it's hard for you over there. Them niggas walking around, you scared to do some overtime because you might get in the house late. And I know you're scared. But I know a great man that could protect you and will lay his life down for you. My man. You understand what I'm saying? That's love right there. You know? That's the ultimate form of love right there. You understand? Now we go down to the clinic and make sure you ain't got no itchy disease or nothing. Like what they say on Color Purple, you ain't got the dirty woman disease. You understand? We'll make sure of that. Because I don't need none of that in my life, sister. But you share that black man, bro. You share that black man, black woman, you know what I'm saying? And you be a sister. You understand? When that sister and your man need to, she say, hey, now, you know what I'm saying? Me and him, we ain't never been nowhere. So, you know, I'm gonna pay and we gonna go to this old comedy show. I'm gonna see if you can just watch the babies for a couple hours for me. No sweat, sis, I got you. You and that man, y'all go out and have a good time. You know what I'm saying? That's brother and sisterhood right there, bro. You understand? We will raise all the Lord need right now is 144,000. Christ can come back. That's all he needs. You understand what I'm saying? And you can have that man have to go out there and fight that war with these knucklehead Negroes to try to bring them in, or you can allow that man to just multiply and replenish the earth of real niggas. That means you will have to share your man, because you can only have one child a year, sis. But that man, he can have as many children as he pleases. You see what I'm saying? You got to do it. You understand? If you want to stay in his hell, that's how I see it. Black woman, you got the greatest ability. You understand what I'm saying, black women? To get us out this hell. Just get you a real nigga from the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge and share him with your best friends. You see what I'm saying? Y'all already cool. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all already, you know, you got the understanding. We'll watch these other babies, right? Just now, your business with your man is your business with your man. You ain't got to talk about it. You got to talk about each other's love life. You understand? Y'all already click tight. You understand? You already help each other out here and there with some bills. You understand? But you got a good man and they don't. Share your man with them sisters, man. You know what I'm saying? And we can bring back 144,000. You understand? Just by time 5, brother. Just by like what Marvin Gaye, sexual healing, man. We can bring them back. Yeah, see, that's all you got, sis. We're gonna go in the class. You understand me? Share your man, black women. You understand? Black love. You know, don't give that brother a hard time. Let him serve the Lord. You understand what I'm saying? And let him bring back these ancestors. Let them be fruitful and multiply. You understand? And with that, this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge that started out at 1 West, 125th Street in Harlem, New York, where we are led by the amazing Commander General YAHANNA. You understand? And if you are not in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, you are not in the truth. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite organization here in this earth. You understand? Because you put yourselves in danger, brother. You got to get in the one body of Christ. And that one body is only found in the Israelite School of Universal and practical knowledge under the Commander Junior YAHANNA. And with that, shalom.